Hey Stampers, it's Gaynor again, and I've been having a little play with like an origami fold. The lady or video I watched is, I don't know how to pronounce that, Shrushti Patil on YouTube. I'll leave that there just for a second so you can look the name up. But this is the card I've done. It's lovely, and I've added, because the DSP is so beautiful, I just added a couple of coloured butterflies, and thank you so much. And we've got a little magnet enclosure here, because when you open this up, look how beautiful this is. I love it. Somebody did send me a link to see if I could do this type of card, but it was as inside pop-up card as well. And I thought, well, I've only just done a pop-up card in the shape of a cake a couple of weeks back, so I didn't want to go big. I just wanted to do a standard size card, which is 8 1/4 by 5 7/8. You know me, keep it real. And it's like I say, I'm keeping it closed with a magnet, and I've gone coordinating with Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay, because I think those two colours look really well together. And I tried to keep my colours, it's very similar to the background. I may use Daffodil Delight on the next one, but I just used the Pineapple Punch just to lift those beautiful butterflies off there. I've added the stamen, the centre bodies and their little antenna as well. And you need really thin paper, and that's why I chose these. These are from the Designer Series paper, the speciality stuff. It's quite thin. My little thingy was poking out, so I nipped it off, and I wish I hadn't now. Look what I've done there. So yeah, keep your corners on next time. Mine were poking out, so I just thought I'd slip them, and then realised I should not have done that. So I've just turned this into a normal card. The good things in life are better with you. And thank you so very much. And then yeah, just keep it closed. Beautiful. And it's not that thick. It may go through as a normal size envelope, and it's not very heavy either. So I'll show you how I made it. It's so cute. Put it on there, out the way. These are all the pieces I used, and I'm going to do exactly the same. I've got Coastal Cabana, and I've just sliced it in half lengthways. And you're just going to fold this in half and burnish it, keeping the ends together. My bone folder would help. And I like to burnish both sides because it keeps the card nice and flat. It doesn't spring open. So I've just used cheap white card because I'm just using it as a layer. And this is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. And my designer says it's really thin, but it's beautiful, beautiful papers. And that is just cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, just so I've got that tiny little white border all the way around. I've got another piece of cheap card. It's only for you to write to and from, and maybe a little message in there. That's for the inside, for later on. I've also got 2 pieces of, what's that one for? What's that one for? This one is to go, it just goes along this flap here because there's a gap, and like there was one there as well, so I put an inch one up there, and that's 4 1/8, exactly the same width as the card by an inch. And then I needed another piece. I thought it was got the same pattern on the back, so, and then that's 4 1/8 by 2, because you don't even need 2, you need maybe another inch, because I just wanted to make sure it didn't have any showing down the bottom as well. So I'm going to change that piece. I've got my Whisper White for my butterflies, so luckily I've got a nice long strip of it here. And the reason I added a 2-inch piece was because I just cut this down to 4 1/8. Like I say, you can have it at 2 inches, you can have it at 1 inch, it doesn't matter. And then this is going to be that little contrasting flap. This is 3 by 1. this is for our thank you so much for the front, and this is 1 1/8 by 3, and these are to cover the little flap here, inside and out, and also it helps to disguise the magnets. And these are 1 1/8 by 1 3/8. This is the fun part now. You will need 2 pieces of thin, really thin. You don't want to do it with normal DSP because it can be quite thick. I would avoid doing it with cardstock as well because it would be too bulky. So nice thin papers. These are both cut at 6 by 10. So let's do the intricate parts first. We'll do all the layering and finish off the stamping after. So they're the little bits you'll need. I'm just going to pop that. And these are from the Speciality Tea Room Treats. Lovely and thin these papers are. You could have had it with the spoons. You know, they've got patterns. You've got little beads. You know, pick any up. You've got 24 sheets of this because it's nice and thin. You know, so it's really thin. I'm going to pop that to one side. I thought I'd dropped something, and I've dropped my dimensionals. You're going to need a few of those later. So I'm going to pop this all over here. This is the lady's name who I watched to do the mechanism. She did a pop-up card as well, but like I say, I've done one a couple of weeks back and I didn't want to do it again. So basically just fold your paper in half, making sure it's point to point and lined up right well all the way at the top. Give that a good burnish. Nice and thin paper, and it's, well, you want to make sure it's not drooping anywhere because you need it to be spot on. There we go. Now it's touching edge to edge. And then what you're going to do, you're going to pinch or put your nail there, and you're going to fold this right the way across and line it up so you can get a nice little point on there. And if you don't get it right, come back in and do it again. You're going to line that up so your point is perfect, and then line it up down this side and burnish. And what I do with mine, flip it over, and then I'm going to line it up that side as well. You're going to burnish these creases both ways. And then what you're going to do is open up your paper, and you're going to fold that bottom bit and lift these two up until it comes together like that. So it looks now like a big beak. So that's the shape you want, in the shape of an M. Or if you're doing it upside down, in the shape, it still looks like an M anyway. And then you fold these together. Perfect. Now you'll need your scoreboard. I'm going to use this as my back piece there. I'm going to hold that right the way there. Using your stylus now, I use the small end, but you don't press too hard. You're going to score it at 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, and 5. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines. I'm going to flip it over, and we're just going to score it at 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's basically because we're going to fold both ways. And then we're going to just repeat the process on the other one. Now we're going to fold these, making sure your paper lines up at the bottom nice and neatly, and then burnish. And then you can go backwards and burnish that one, making sure they line up. And then you can do the same with this one. Burnish. I think doing it this way, the lady did it where she folded and burnished, folded and burnished. It got a bit too thick, so just burnish both ways on both of them, on all 4 lines. So again, pull this over, line this up and burnish, and then go back the other way. You'll understand why in a minute. And then burnish the last one, keeping it nice and neat, and then back the other way. Oops. And then burnish. And then you're going to open this out. Now you've got 4 right angles. So, because you've burnished them both ways, you want to make your first one mountains, but fold those this way to make valleys, and then that one mountains, and then the last one just push that through, make that a valley as well. So look, see what I mean? It stuck out the end. Don't be tempted to nip that off like I was. And then once you've got that in place, just give that a good burnish. And then you can repeat the process. Open that little bit up, and you're going to mountain, valley, mountain, valley. It will cut. It's a bit fiddly, but it's worth it. Do one side at a time. And then pull it together like that. And again, oops, that needs to be that way. So the middle one needs to be a valley, if I've done it right. This is the bit I get a little bit confused on. So that needs to go that way. And then they're supposed to just scoop up, but for some reason that doesn't want to. Right. Bear with me, darlings. I will sort this out. Ew. Am I doing it the wrong way? No, that's right. Yeah, there we go. Just pull it all together. So now you've got that. There's your pattern. And you can control whether you want that on the outside. Oh no, we're going to have that showing this time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it round. Just straight. I want this on the inside, see? And then we're just going to fold this way. Okay, now, come on, fold them the opposite ways. You can always work it out so you know which way you want it to go. As long as you turn it the right way. Fold and just burnish. They want to go down. It's a little bit confusing, but please bear with me. They go down and up, and that one goes back and then in. That's that. And then that one has to go down. I'll show you properly on the next one. So, fold, back and forward. we'll get it now, you watch. That's right. Take a deep breath, Gaynor. I've got the folding right, it's just this bit isn't going how I wanted it. There it is, there you go. You're going to push that one in. That's a valley, that's a mountain. So, there we go. Because I want this on the outside of my card and I want that on the inside. So next time, when we do the scoring on this one now, we're going to do exactly the same. I'll show you that it looked confusing then, but it won't be. Trust me. I have to fold this in half, making sure points are together. Nice and slow we'll do this one. And fold. And crease. Making sure your opening's on this side. Just fold. You need to get the perfect corner. And then line it up down this side. And then burnish. It could be that the paper's not sitting right, but it was sitting right. I'm so ridiculous. Meticulous, I meant, not ridiculous. And I'm going to fold it back the other way, making sure they line up perfectly right along the edge. That's better. So I got it then. Perfect. So my corners are perfect now, and we've folded both ways. So we've got that line. So bend that, fold that, and fold that. So we got, and make sure they're still together, nice and neat, and just burnish them again. Now we can go back to the scoreboard. So put your right angle into this corner first, and then score at 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, and 5. Flip them over just so you can reinforce them. Score lines at 1. Keep the paper pushed right up into the top at 2. That seems to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's all you'll need your scoreboard for. So again now we're just going to fold, making sure that it lines up at the bottom, and crease, and then go back the other way, making sure it all lines up, and crease, open it out, fold the next one, and crease, open this out, and fold it this way, and crease, fold the second line in, the third one should I say, and crease, and then back the other way, making sure they line up at the bottom, and then your last one. Just fold that up, crease, and then fold it back that way, and crease. Now open this up. Now this is the piece I want on the inside, like this one. So you've got this here, this is a mountain, this one in the centre is a valley, and then there you can see, so it's mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. So it's just opposites, and then when it all comes together it closes just like that. My problem is I had the paper facing that way when I started creasing. So again, mountain and that's got to go back to be a valley. Mountain, a valley. They're so easy really. I just mess with the lines first and then the rest will fall together. So valley, pull them together and then just fold that back and fold that one back and then go like that. Perfect. When it's all together and level, you can burnish. And then just concentrate on the other side. So that's got to be mountain, that's got to be valley. So mountain, mountain, valley. Oops. And pop that other one through, and then you've got that side done as well. Don't crease that because I've done it on the outside again, haven't I? That's right. So mountain, valley. I'm going to get so confused in a minute. Right. That needs to be valley, so that needs to point upwards. That's going down. That's going up. Pull these together. Mountain that one. And put it all together just like that. Then pull these together and burnish. Whoa! So it seems a little bit of a palaver, but it's not. Trust me, it's so easy. Just give them a burnish. Yeah, but now that's on the inside, so I need to flip it round. Oh, it's that one. Ah, that's the way mine goes. That's it. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I've got it right. It's not closing together, is it? It needs that bit to go. We'll take a deep breath, Gaynor. What's going on here? That's right. That's right. That's right. I had it right the first time. So now I've got to flip it again. Oh my gosh. I will get there. I need my yellow to be on the outside. That's why I'm putting my yellow on the in. So again, just because you've creased both ways, it will soon fall into place, you know. Valley, mountain, mountain. Please bear with me. Valley. Oh, Gaynor, mountain. Mountain. Push that one down, that one through, this one back, that one that way. We're there. Do the same on this side now. So the bit you want on the inside, keep it facing that way, and the bit on the outside that way. So push that through, push that one through, push that one, back, and then through. There we go, I've done it. Yay! So those are on the outside, because I want this on the inside. So, oh, gainer, 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 gainer. We get there, we got there, we got there, we got there. So we've got those now. And that's what we're going to do, we're going to keep them, because these are going to be the outside of my card, like this one. They need to be on the outside, because I want that on the inside. Perfect. Took a little bit of time, girls, but we got there. Because we burnished both ways, and if you wanted the yellow on the inside, you just do what I just did, but then before I turned it. So whatever you want on the inside, these flaps have got to be folded so the opposite side of your paper is on the outside. I'm just having a swig of coffee. Oh, my battery's going to go, so I think I might swap the battery, and then when you go in the book, they will get glued in like this. So we're going to do that little bit now, just to show you. So this is your card. Obviously you want it opening upwards. So I'm going to take our first one, and we're going to line this up, and then when you do, you've got to push it. You need it to go all the way up to the top, and you need it to be sitting right along the edge of this piece without hanging over. So wet glue is your favourite friend at the minute. So I'm going to get this. I got a little bit more wiggle space with this one. The other one sets a bit too quick. So let me get this done before my battery dies, just to show you. So I'm going to glue the underneath. Plenty on, and then keeping all your pieces together, I'm going to push this in and line that right up on the edge. Without it hanging over. Oh, it's hanging over a little bit, so quick, 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 get it up. There we go. Because I know roughly. There we go. I don't want none of this hanging over, but we've got to put it right on the edge. There we go. I think that's about right now. There we go. You can't see it now when it's closed. So what I do then, I go in with my bone folder. Just secure that bottom flap right down, because you've got a little groove into there. Push your bone folder in, keeping it all on that edge. And you've got a little bit of a gap. See, now we've got this gap. So when we glue this one in, you've got a little fraction of a gap in the centre, but we're going to disguise that with our white piece. I'm just going to glue that one in. Oh, let me close this first. It's a simple little origami trick. I can normally get it after the... I watched this lady once. I didn't watch her over and over and over again because I got till I got it right. I just watched her once and I got it basically more or less the first time. So you want to close your card, making sure it lies right on the edge there, so you can't see anything when it's open. And then again, just go in, flatten it down with your bone folder. And at this point, it doesn't matter if it opens this way or this way, because we haven't put any orientation in there yet. You've got to make sure the folded edges are on the edge of your card this way. So again, I'm going to add more glue. And again, keeping the card up this edge, right along this edge. Just making sure I can't see any of it when I close. Looks good. Looks pretty good to me. Tiny little bit. I've managed to get that off. Yeah, just... Oh, that's stuck in there now, so I'm just going to add a bit more glue. Tiniest little fraction, but it doesn't matter. They'll soon know where it is. There we go, that's better. And then just open up your flap and squish it right down. See about the gap in the centre? And again, just grab your glue this side. And this is why we need the magnetic closure, because otherwise your card just stands up. You don't have to. You could send it in an envelope, but I just think it looks a lot neater for storing after they've displayed it. So I'm just going to line this up right along the edge of this card. And then go in once again and level that out. Beautiful. So there is that beautiful. Look at little knobbly bits. Don't be tempted like I did to cut them off. Make sure that's closed right together. Give that another good burnish. Ta-da! It's got a bit of a glue overhang there. Beautiful. So basically now with this piece, this is just 3 inches, and we're just going to fold this in half. Give that a little burnish. And this is going to sit right on the edge here and get glued in. And then this is going to be our closure. So you want to keep it roughly in the middle. So what I'll do is I'll just lift it up, add my glue. And then close that back down. Making sure it's even and right along that edge. Perfect. So you want the flap to be able to stay open. This time now you can add your magnets. My camera battery's doing well. So make sure you've got 2. And I have. And I just pulled the set out on the last video, on the last card, and they were glued together and I couldn't get them apart. So I'm going to add a glue dot one side and a glue dot the other. I'm just going to squeeze that on and then I can peel them off. So pop this wherever you want it and squash it down. And then you can close that over. And then just pull back, and now we need a bit of double-sided tape just to keep them in place, stop them from moving. Add a bit there. And a little bit on there. grab my pokey tool just to give that a squash all the way around. And the same on this one. And now these two little pieces of designer series paper, I'm going to take the backing off that one. I'm going to glue that over the top of there. Nice little border all the way around. That burnish just until it seals itself down. And then we can add that little piece there. So cute. Adorable. And look at that, it's got that lovely little daisy showing through on that side. Oops. Piece didn't want to go down there. Perfect. So that is our magnet enclosure. Perfect. Yay! Now, what I'm going to do now, I am going to remove the backing. And then I'm going to grab my white and my designer series paper and I'm going to glue the two together. And then we can pop it on the front of our card. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful print. You just want a tiny little border all the way around. And then we can add the card. And like I say, I'm not using the Good Whisper White on this because it's just there for decoration. Aren't they cute? Again, nice little border all the way around. Make sure you've got it even both sides, Gaynor would help. Perfect. That is so much neater. And because this is literally basically thin designer series paper, that has no problems staying stuck down. Isn't that cute? My card seems a bit lopsided. Perfect. Love it. Right, I'm going to open this up now. This piece I'm going to glue on the top here, just to hide the rest of the inside. So this is just going to slide in there, and it fits the same width as the actual card. Fits in there beautifully. And then I'm going to do the same down the bottom with this piece. So like I say, you could do another inch, but I wanted to come past. That's why I did 2 inches on this side. I didn't want this showing through. So I'm going to lay that, and that's going to cover that piece there. And then our whisper, the white piece, fits in there with a nice little border all the way around. Perfect. Beautiful. So just right the way to the end, right the way across there. Just going to scoot that as it, scoot that up a little bit. Now you can't see the Bermuda Bay underneath. And then this piece you will just put, you've got to cut it shorter because the corners in there. And then this piece, what's happening here, will get stuck down in there with a nice little border all the way round. But we're going to stamp on that first. And it doesn't really matter about that line up there because they'd be more interested in looking into this card. Why, what's what that's it? Whew, they opened it out too much. So that will perfect, lovely. So I'm going to get this and this. I'm just going to stamp. Where's my pin gone? Oh, there it is. Get my black. And then it says, the good things in life are better with you. And I'm just going to line that up. Perfect. And then I can attach that now inside, and then we can close and start decorating the front. Perfect. Oops, she says, dropping everything. Just going to line this up. I better move that, knowing me, I'll open the card up and get black ink all over it. So, just nice little border, top, bottom on either side. Just smooth that down. So there's the inside of our card all sorted. We can now close and we can set that to one side whilst we do our sentiments and our beautiful butterflies and even those little bits there which will get attached afterwards. So I'm going to do the sentiment first. I know, it's upside down. I'll put that right along the edge there, just so I can keep that nice and level. Beautifully. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's that one. You know me and my cloths, I have to clean as I go. I can pop them to one side. They're done. Get our beautiful butterfly. And what I did, I stamped right down on that one. Give it a clean, just the bottom one. Probably will get a little bit, but I'm just going to put in a piece of scrap. And then I'm just going to stamp this butterfly down here, because I know I've got plenty of space to cut that out. Pop the black away for a moment because we're going to colour these and then we're going to stick them on our card, and then we can add the bodies and the little antennae. So I use the light rich raspberry, the dark pure party and the dark pineapple punch, but I'm going to swap that and I'm going to use the light daffodil delight. I'm just going to keep the same pattern. I'm going to use the other end. Oh. belly's starting to rumble. It's tea time in our house and I'm getting peckish. The voice just come back from the shop. That's a better, that to me is a little bit better. It's not as dark because that's not really that bright, but I think that's a little too bright. But it's done now and we've solved our problems. So I'm just going to have the last swig of my coffee. Beautiful. And I'm just going to swap the battery. There we go. I just had to swap my battery over, but we're back now. So I'm using my blue next, just because I don't want to pick up the Blackberry Bliss and drag it into the other colour. Just having a look. Just thought it added more or less the same colours on the card, not disguising the butterflies, but just helping them along. It doesn't take long at all. Sorry the battery went, but we thought it was going to go ages ago, didn't we? So I always got a spare one. So pretty. Really is pretty. I love these. I have gone a bundle on this butterfly gala stamp set. It's just so gorgeous. So versatile as well. Beautiful colours. If you don't have the blends, you could always use your markers. Or even watercolour pencils, that would have been nice. Perfect. This is the best bit for me, the colouring. Love it. I've done exploding cards before, but not with that type of fold. Oh, origami and school. You remember the pyramid things you used to play when you were a kid? You used to make them so fast. I even made them for Lola when she was a little girl. I'm trying not to go over the black as well, because I don't want to. I want all these areas to be defined. I want to cloud the black with this Blackberry Bliss. And this is just the lighter one. Nearly done. Perfect. Lovely. So that's my Blackberry Bliss. I grab my punch, and I'm first of all going to punch these two out. And then I can go back for this little one here. Perfect. So I've got my 3 butterflies. Get rid of the other little bits. And then I can save this piece of card for another project. I do like to utilise all my paper. Pop that to one side. Get rid of my bits. Oops, I'm picking up the wrong card. So I'm going to grab a dot of glue. I'm just doing it in the centre. And I'm just going to add this one about here. I always like to keep that squashed down. I know it's going to get flattened in the card, but the recipient can see that they've lifted up once they open up. So I'm going to pop one roughly around here. Beautiful. Another one I'm going to come round about here. Where? My sentiment's going there. I'm going to pop that one. Yeah, about there. Now, maybe there. Because I want to be able to put the antenna on and not over the flower. Perfect. So I'm going to pennant the ends of my sentiment. Just slightly. Beautiful. Oh, I hate that. You cut a little bit too far, that's better. That's better. Neatened it up a little bit. And grab some dimensionals. Sticking to me, not. That's it. And then I'm just going to settle that just above there, and then come back with my black ink, and I've got them staggered and one on each side. Perfect. Let's get my little cleansing cloth. Beautiful. And then the same with the little ones. Isn't that beautiful? It's mad what you can do with a bit of ink in it and some shapes. Perfect. And there we go. There is my inner explosion card. A little bit hanging out, but beautifully done. And voila. And oh look, I've got a little rose here. These are retired now, but I loved them. I thought they would look really sweet on that flap. That one's going to fit there beautifully, isn't it? Right in the centre of that flower. perfect. And if we wanted, we could always add a bit of Winker Stella. Going over the blue first, and then just dab the rest. I don't think it picks up the blends colours, does it? No. Just brightens them a little bit. Perfect. Beautifully done. So there we go. There is my beautiful explosion cards. I do hope you like them, and I do hope you give them a go. It wasn't as bad as I made out, honest. Just remember which way round you want your paper to go on the inside, and rather you've got that beautiful decoration on the outside as well. So there we have it. There's my little project for today. I do hope, I'd love a thumbs up and a share if you enjoyed the video, that is. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do, because I do my best to post every single day. And then I'll come and see what I make tomorrow. I do, like I say, post every single day if I can help it. And yeah, come and see what we make tomorrow. Love you all. Bye.